Toby saw Thomas again. He was pulling Annie and Clarabelle. "I'm off for my repaint," chuffed Thomas happily. "I can pull Annie and Clarabelle for you," said Toby. "Thank you, Toby," tooted Thomas. So Toby pulled Annie and Clarabelle on Thomas's branch line. And while James was getting a shiny new coat of red paint, Toby collected coal cars from the mine for James. And while Percy was having his repaint, Toby shunted freight cars full of stone in the quarry for Percy, even though it was dusty, dirty work. At last, Toby had finished. He was very tired and very dirty. Suddenly, he saw Sir Topham Hatt waiting by the track. Toby still didn't want to speak to Sir Topham Hatt. Quickly, he reversed into a siding. But didn't see that a big rock had fallen on the line. "Bust my cowcatchers!" he cried. Luckily, no one was hurt. But Toby's axle and his cowcatchers were broken. He couldn't move. Sir Topham Hatt hurried over. "Why have you been running away from me all day?" he asked. I don't want to be put in a museum," Toby said sadly. "Why would I do that, Toby?" asked Sir Topham Hatt. "Because a museum is full of old things, and I'm an old steam tram, and I'm not really useful anymore." Sir Topham Hatt smiled. "Toby, you may be old, but you are far too useful to be put in the museum. You have worked harder today than any other engine. And as Sodor's only steam tram, I have a very special job for you. First, you will have a special polish. Then, you are to take all the visitors to the museum for the grand opening." Toby felt very happy. He let out a great wheeze of steam. "I've been trying to tell you that all day," added Sir Topham Hatt. Toby smiled. He felt very silly. So Toby's axle and cowcatchers were repaired, and then he was polished until he looked as good as new. On the day of the museum opening, Toby picked up the visitors at the docks and puffed them proudly to the new museum. Toby was proud to be old, and he was even prouder to be the only really useful steam tram on the island of Sodor. Thomas has several loads today. First, he must take a load of eggs to the village. There are 2 tracks Thomas could take. One track is long and flat. The other track is bumpy. Thomas knows that eggs break easily. Which route do you think he should take? Yes, the long, flat track. It's much safer for moving the eggs. Thomas is taking care. Now Thomas has a load of chickens to take to the farm. There are 2 tracks Thomas could take. He could take the fast main line, or he could take the slower branch line. Thomas knows that chickens get frightened if they are moved too quickly. Which track do you think he should take? Yes, the slow branch line. It's much better for moving the chickens. Thomas is taking care. Now Thomas has to take this sailboat to the harbor.